For the longest time, I was always looking for moments charged with meaning. But it only gets you so far when you're chasing something that only comes when you're not looking for it at all. Being surrounded by the Pacific for my entire life, I've been able to watch her movements and learn and be punished. You have to accept your fate. You have to be able to rise above your own ego. At that moment, there's nothing in the world that exists, and no one can touch you. It's just you and Mother Nature at her most dynamic moment. There are things out there in this energy that's occurring that shrinks you down into a speck of dust. For the longest time, the land was my greatest nemesis. But as I've gotten older, there are times where I push too hard on the water. And I gotta recover. And being able to ride my bike up one of the biggest volcanoes in the Pacific, I get a ton of inspiration by it. Always been a huge fan of cycling, and it's because my mom was riding bikes in her college years, and she was the state champion of Oregon. And I thought that was so cool, and I thought my mom was awesome. I always wanted to just get on a bike myself. We had a great cycling shop just down the street by Donnie. He basically helped me get my first bike, and I started riding with him since I was pretty much 12 years old. And I've been, riding ever since. The roads here on Maui are incredible. From flat, hot, straight line roads to windy forests and jungle, to basically like you're on Mars at the top of these volcanoes and every other altitude in between. The shortest distance between sea level and 10,000 feet on the planet. It's a radical place. You're gonna see something new every time you ride. A sport dies when the next generation can't keep pushing it. You need the next generation to be passionate about it, and you don't want to do something and feel like it didn't matter in the end. I've thought about, towards the end of my career, how do you channel that without becoming a grumpy old man? I see it as taking all the knowledge that I have learned and pushing it into the next generation. Hopefully they can take it 10 times farther. Throughout life, we're always trying to figure out meaning and purpose. And at the end of the day, when you realize you're part of something far bigger and you're just kind of a cog in this amazing world, it almost takes the pressure off. I think riding matters because it brings so much joy, and I'd like to think that we as human beings absorb some of that, and that gives us happiness.